What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on this lovely day, about to turn not so lovely. They say a snowstorm's coming in tonight, so I thought I better get this done while I can. There's gonna be stupid punk ass snow on the ground. I'm telling you, I live in a small town, but you wouldn't know it with all this damn traffic. Yeah, we'll go right. Why not? Okay, so if you tuned into my last video, we were talking about, you know what, I better do introductions. Thanks for tuning into the channel. My name is Larry, and I'm an alcoholic. And if you tuned into the last video, we talked about anxiety, and this one I'd like to talk about the thing that goes hand in hand with anxiety, and that is depression. And I kind of put myself on the spot here. I didn't do much brainstorming for hopping on this thing. Depression's hard to put into words. I guess the best thing I could do would be to describe what it did to me. Depression's like this: when you're going through it and you're in the deep dark abyss of your mind, it's hard to reach out. Everybody says reach out when you're in a depression slump, but when you get down into the deep dark abyss of the mind, or okay, for me, when I'm in that place, reaching out is the last thing that I'm going to do. It totally warps the mind. It spins me out of control every time, and it's a lot better now. I'm kind of talking about the past here, when I was drinking, first couple years into sobriety. So what usually brings on my depression spells is like a real high point. When I go from a high point of, you know, happiness and joyfulness, I guess, after I come down from that, that's when depression creeps in for me. And the best example for that I can think of is my wedding day to my beautiful wife was one of the happiest days of my life. I didn't think I could be so happy. I didn't think I would enjoy it, really, because I'm the type of guy who, all the planning that had to happen for the wedding, I just wasn't about that. I was ready to get it here, get it taken care of, let's move on. Well, that day, it ended up being perfect. And the day went great, the night went better. Wake up the next morning, and something just felt different with me. I couldn't crawl out of bed for a couple of days, and it was the worst I've ever felt mentally, and I just couldn't figure out what was going on. You know, I knew I had these issues, but it never had about that bad. And like I was saying earlier, reaching out is the last thing on my mind at that point. And of course, suicidal thoughts tend to creep in when I'm going through that. But honestly, it gets so bad to where the act of actually harming myself like that, I didn't have the energy to do it. Like, I don't know, man. Depression's so weird. I have so many thoughts about it. I wish I could articulate them better for you guys. But it's not just me. It's a lot of people I know who sure could use to talk about it but refuse to because of their pride. But the cure I found for my depression, I found in the inside of my AA rooms and the fellowship that came with it. I found a group of people who, first of all, can relate, and second of all, if I call them and say, hey, I'm having these thoughts, their first reaction isn't going to be, oh, we better get you to the doctor and get you on something, or I'm gonna call the police and have them come over so you don't hurt yourself. Their reaction is more like, let's go get a cup of coffee and talk about it. And when I'm in a slump, going out into the public is the last thing I want to do. But turns out that's what I needed, is just to talk to another human being, get me out of my head, because that's the worst place I can be when I'm having trouble, is in my head. A smart man once told me, if you're in a room alone with yourself, get out of there, because you're there with a crazy person. Boy, am I crazy. I'm crazy about motorcycles, I'm crazy about sobriety, and I'm crazy about fellowship. So for everybody who's took the time to comment, whether it's about the bikes or about the stuff I'm actually talking about, thank you. It truly means a lot to me. I didn't think I'd get quite the response that I got. Quite the amount of people clicking and viewing on these. But part of that was the self-doubt I had in my head, and you don't know until you try, right? I honestly felt called to do these videos from a higher power, let's call him God, because I sure as heck wouldn't have wanted to record myself. I can't stand the way my voice sounds when I watch these videos and attempt to edit them. But again, thank you for those who have watched, subscribed, liked, even if you just gloss over it when one of my videos pops up. It means a lot. But if you are struggling with depression and anxiety, because for me, depression and anxiety, they're like that in my world, you really do need to reach out. But reach out to people who are going to listen and not judge. but definitely don't take action and do any self-harm. That's not the correct way out. And that's another thing that bugs me is, you know, you hear of when I hear of somebody committed suicide, and thank God it doesn't happen that often, it bothers me when people say he took the coward's way out or she took the coward's way out. I've been right there in the thick of it before, and I can tell you that the people take their own life were experiencing more hurt than they could deal with, and unfortunately they didn't find help soon enough. But I feel blessed that I was able to avoid that outcome, and now I can make these videos and connect with all of you, and with any luck, maybe be the thing that that person needed to hear that day. Because turns out life's actually pretty cool. You can meet pretty great people, and you can buy a Harley Dyna and go rip up the streets, and if you're lucky, you might actually have some damn turns where you live. Nothing but straight shots around here. But I think I've rambled on long enough. I think I'll cut it out there. I actually have a meeting to get to tonight. If it doesn't start raining, I'm going to take the old Harley there. So, thanks for watching, guys. If you feel inclined, like, subscribe, comment. Have a good one.